Now back to the stunner from the Supremes. A leaked decision on abortion is rippling across America. Question: how do Americans feel about allowing the states to make the ultimate decision? Brenda Gianiny is the Republican pollster and president of Access Research. Good to have you here today, Brenda. Good morning to you. Let me just show you the first one. We asked whether or not you wanted Roe versus Wade to stand or overturn it. At the moment, 63% say let it stand. Let's start there on what you find.
Absolutely. Good morning, Bill. Great to be with you.
Thank you.
I love that you're showing these two up against each other, these questions. So when you ask voters about abortion, it's not as simple as saying that I'm a pro-choice voter or I'm a pro-life voter. Voters' attitudes about abortion are very nuanced. As you see there in that data, a majority say let it stand. Americans support some access to abortion, but as you also asked in your poll, they support some restrictions. They'd like to see more restrictions than we have today. So you also see a clear majority supports the Mississippi ruling of a ban after 15 weeks. You see those numbers start to subside once you talk about a ban after or allowing abortions after 6 weeks. So Americans do support restrictions on abortion, but they don't necessarily want to overturn Roe versus Wade overall. That's why you see some of those numbers that don't match.
This may make your point here. You tell us. We asked how you feel about abortion after 6 weeks, then after 15 weeks. Favor 50% after 6 weeks. Favor 54% after 15. Does that help you understand where people are on that based on some of these state laws?
Absolutely. So people like turning the decisions over to the states and letting the states set their own restrictions. But what happens, you can see, so if you say we should ban abortions after 15 weeks, people say that makes sense to me. Yeah, you know, you're talking about almost 4 months. When you see like the Texas law and people talking about we should ban abortions after 6 weeks, you start to lose independents, moms, suburban women. That's where you see those numbers drop. So people do support, allowing Roe to stand, but they want to see more restrictions, which this gives Brenda, if the decision stands, gives the states flexibility.
This is a little confusing, and I'm asking it for a reason because I want to help us understand it. And I really think as the issue is being considered and thought about in more significant ways now, after the leak of 36 hours ago, maybe these views change one way or another. Anyway, we found in our polling 44% believe abortion should be legal all or most of the time, 44%. Yet 54% think it should be illegal all or most of the time. So for the first time, that portion saying illegal has been above 50% in our Fox News poll. What does that mean?
It is a little bit of an outlier. We haven't seen that in any other polls yet, so it could be an early indicator. It could definitely be something real that is happening out there, but right now it's a bit of an outlier. Most of the people, as I said, are sort of in the middle. They don't want it legal all of the time. They don't want it illegal all of the time. They support some access to abortion, but with heavy restrictions. Okay.
Brenda, I want to squeeze this in. Job performance, Joe Biden, he's right around 45% overall. But then when you get to the issues, and we've gone through this week after week, and he really isn't above 50% on any issue that Americans care about today. Why?
Well, it's his policy. So we've said for a long time, Americans don't dislike Joe Biden as a person. They dislike his policies. And so running against his policies is how Republicans are going to be successful in the midterms. They just think that Joe Biden's simply not up to the task. And when you put that graphic up, what's interesting is you look at the 3 things that Americans are most concerned about right now. As you saw in your previous segment, it's inflation, it's crime, and it's immigration. Those are his lowest marks on any issue across the board. So running against Joe Biden and essentially all of the Democratic candidates, it's not that voters dislike them, it's they dislike their policies. And that's how Republicans are going to be successful in the midterms against people like Warnock and Kelly and Biden.
Okay, that's Arizona, that's Georgia. Thank you, Brenda. Nice to see you today. Thank you for being on with us.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.